maybe a few minutes while we... That's it? And us, any of the other judges are welcome. That's the only exception. By the way, for those of you in the audience portion,
Do you want this in the record? Is that on the record?
no, it doesn't need to be. There can't be any reaction at all, no matter how strongly you may feel. And it's understood that many people do have strong feelings, but we can't permit any kind of a reaction to the verdict. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of law enforcement here, and you will be whisked out of here if there is any. So just be aware.
I served 30 years in the Army, from Europe to Afghanistan to Iraq. The Hire on Our Heroes program with...
Turn down, please.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, members of the jury, have you elected a foreperson? Would you give your juror number, please?
54.
54. And has the jury reached a verdict as to each count of the information?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
One verdict and one verdict only.
Yes.
Would you hand all of the paperwork to the bailiff, please?
This is the ones that we didn't fill.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. May I see that too, please, Mrs. Chairman? Thank you.
All right, guys, I don't want to interrupt. We are live right now. Hit the like button. Let everyone know that this is live. This is a historical moment. As you can tell, I'm out of breath because I just had to run from across town.
Yeah.
Dave must have been in this chair.
So it looks to be one verdict that he's going to give.
Defendant will rise, face
the
the jury,
jury's
and
gonna
hearken
give.
to
All right.
its verdicts.
Let's go. Everyone say a prayer.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Yes!
Richard McGinnis. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz,
Thank
we, the
God.
jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse,
That's one.
not guilty.
There we go.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts?
Look at that
Look at
kid.
him.
Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Man.
Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started just about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, my goodness.
And I
Pops
told you it
Crowder's
would
being a
last
bitch.
2 weeks and 2 days. This
You're
is
not.
two weeks-
You're
this
not.
is 3 weeks.
I'm not crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
You were
Let me
a
listen to this.
wonderful jury to work with. You were punctual. You were attentive. And the forgotten six over here who had a very difficult job of keeping from discussing the case during the time that they were sequestered as well. All of you, I couldn't have asked for a
God.
better jury to work with. And it has truly been my pleasure. I think, without commenting on the verdicts themselves, just in terms of your the attentiveness and the cooperation that you gave to us, this justifies the confidence that the founders of our
Gerald
country
Day just came in
placed
jailed,
in us.
not guilty on all
Not
counts.
guilty.
So
I watched.
Yeah.
I
Incredible.
dismiss you at this time. You're never under any obligation to discuss any aspect of
And
this
if you were
case
watching a gross
with
violation
anyone.
of traffic laws.
You're welcome to do so.
I didn't
as
admit that
little
on camera,
or as
did I?
much as you want.
Criminal.
The media have requested, a number of media
Idiots.
sources
The speed
have
was enough.
requested the ability to
They
talk
got
to
me
you,
on
and,
that.
They have been allowed to present presentations to you that you'll get in writing, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to contact them. They are not to contact you.
If you want to do a book deal.
If anyone does contact you and just tell them you're not interested in discussing it, if that's the case, and if anyone persists in doing so, report that to us and it will be addressed. I assure you.
Who's that girl?
Beginning of the
Bicep girl?
trial, there was some concern.
I think it may be the family
There's a
of
bicep girl?
Information.
Well, she's got
and,
the
writers.
ring spacers. I don't know.
Your safety.
Or the ears.
And I assure you that we will
I mean-
take every measure to ensure that is your concerns are addressed and respected. I'm going to talk to you for just a minute, not about anything to do with the case, but just about that sole issue. And you, as I say, you're welcome to discuss the case as little or as much as you want. Any questions, anybody? Thank you so much. And,
Yeah, can we send him back out to protect the courthouse right now?
Before you're
Right.
eligible for service again. It would be my pleasure to work with you. Thank you.
I want the judge right now to pull what was it, Darren? What's the name of the dad in Christmas Story? Darren
McGavin.
Darren McGavin. I want him to now go to Kyle. Wait, what's
take him upstairs.
what's that over there? What? Behind the jury bench.
What is it?
Go take a look. He pulls out his AR-15.
The very one.
Putting in the rounds. Careful, they run all over.
I had one when I was a kid.
I had one when I was I was 8 years old.
Dude, oh, I'm so relieved.
I know.
Oh, thank
I
you.
literally
Lord.
had
That
to
is
see
so
God.
TV on my phone in the car. I dropped my friend off at a street corner and said, "You got to walk
like,
back."
get
And I
outta
kept
here.
booking.
And well, I don't know, guys. Do we want to celebrate and then do our recap, or do we want to recap and then?
I don't know.
celebrate.
I think everybody wants to celebrate.
All right, okay.
now
Well, let's
in
bring in the
world.
celebration here,
Yeah.
and then we're going to do a recap. You guys can hit like and you can retweet. Sorry,
We have a
just-
celebration?
we do have a
we do a
celebration
little bit.
here. Look, guys, this is important because, yeah. Sorry, I just missed our guys here. We have our
Yeah, we're gonna come. We'll bring them back in.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll bring them back
so-
in. Look, we're going to continue with you for a little bit because I know we started here late. This is not just, and I have a whole prep document here, which is now useless. Not useless because we still did have yesterday. We had a major news network. A major news network try and intimidate the jury. And I know people saying, oh, if you really believe, well, I believe that because NBC said so. They just said, well, he wasn't really trying to take any pictures and he wasn't really trying to put it on
Right.
court.
Sure.
Then why were you following the jury bus? And we broke that on air when we
Yeah.
found that it actually was a producer because initially the story was that someone who claimed they were with NBC. This was big because this was going to be a moment. And I want you to remember where you were. And I want you, and they're afraid, the left is afraid. They're saying, well, if we let Kyle Rittenhouse free, this might embolden people. I guess that's true. If you shoot one wife-strangling rapist hitting you in the head with a skateboard, it's a slippery rapist shooting slope.
You made a statement the other day. I want the criminals to be more afraid of us than we are of them.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
simplifying what you said, but that is exactly what this verdict says. And it would have been the exact opposite otherwise.
Otherwise,
you can't do a thing. They can do whatever they want.
And you know what? Today, right now, outside of that courthouse, where, by the way, and we have, I don't know what clips we have, but you can find these all online. People have been arrested. There have been people who've committed assault. There have been people who've been body slammed outside of that courthouse. There have been people who've said that Kyle Rittenhouse should not have made it to trial, that they would have killed him. There have been people trying to dox the jury. This has been going on for a while. And this was an attempt to say, if you think you have your Second Amendment right, and we can't beat it in the courts through the process, right? Faith in our institutions, that's what they're all about.
Yeah.
We're going to make you so afraid to use it that it's all but insignificant, all but inconsequential at this point. And for you to, they were saying, people might get emboldened. You know what? Let me flip it the other way. You think the people who are prepared to riot and burn stuff down outside of Kenosha, not only now, maybe give it second thought, but also, not because of Kyle Rittenhouse, but because they realize a jury of their peers said, no, enough. You don't get to burn shit down consequence-free and then crucify a kid for doing the job that you guys don't want the cops to do anyway. Look, the jury is basically saying this, hey, we don't know what to do at this point, right? You don't want us to have our Second Amendment rights, and then you say, call the cops, and then we want to call the cops. You want to defund the cops. So a lot of us didn't feel like we had the cops that night. A lot of us didn't have firearms. We had people like Kyle Rittenhouse. And I have never shied away from this. And I've seen people on the right going, oh, he's an asshole. He shouldn't have been there making a mistake. But you know what? Still, he's self-defense. No. He's not an asshole. He did nothing wrong. He had every right to be there. And he was doing something that I think a lot of people have thought about. Not going out and hunting, but protecting what is rightfully yours. Is there any more basic human right? When we talk about human rights, here's what you need to understand. Human rights, they're not civil rights. Human rights come from natural rights, which means they're birthrights, which means they're given to you by God, and the Constitution and our government only exists to ensure that, ironically, they themselves cannot infringe upon those rights. Is there any more basic, God-given right than that of protecting yourself or your family or what's yours? Can you think of any? Student loan forgiveness? No! Free internet? No! EBT cards? No! The right to protect yourself and what's yours. And more importantly, do you know why we were able to in this country, even though we started out with the stain of slavery? Absolutely. So did other countries. There are still people today who are slaves, white and black. Let's be clear about that. Across the world. You know why we were able to uniquely end it so quickly in this country is because we had a document that said this is designed to ensure that the rights of the minority are not infringed upon by the majority. That's mob rule. And this is a perfect example today of what the left wanted. They wanted justice to be served, to be administered by mob rule. If we're not going to get what we want through the courts, through the process, if we're not going to get what we want through the law, we are going to intimidate everyone so much that they are afraid to recognize the law. And that law is the most basic of laws, that you have the right to protect what is yours. Your person, your property, your family, period. When people say, hey, this might set a dangerous precedent, that you might have more Kyle Rittenhouses out there, you may have more people who decide to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you mean deciding to be where you're burning our shit down? How come it's not the wrong place for assholes? Just for me? So no, I don't give any credence to it. I don't give any credence to Kyle was a blood. No, this isn't the QAnon shaman. He did nothing wrong. Making mistakes is different from doing something wrong. When people say, oh, this might inspire people not to go out and hunt anyone, because that's not what Kyle Rittenhouse did. You just heard it legally. YouTube, fuck you. I can say that now because it's enshrined in the record books. Think about this. They wanted to ban anything that praised Kyle Rittenhouse. They did. GoFundMe, Facebook, Twitter, right? Move my hands like Donald Trump now. Right? Right. Oh, God. Just
happened.
They wanted to ban all of it because they said it's praising a mass murderer. That was before this came back. Guess what? That dictates what you're allowed to, not only your God-given right to self-defense, it dictates if you're allowed to talk about it in the digital public square where 90% of information is exchanged. Think about that for a second. That's what was hanging in the balance here. If this was not a not guilty, guarantee you. How much you want to bet retroactively every single one of our shows? Yeah. We knew this. We had to have conversations with our lawyers. Hey, if he's found guilty, you might have to take down your shows talking about, because it's gonna be enshrined into social media. So right now, I don't say piss off. We don't need to leave, by the way. This is just more YouTube, you can go fuck yourself with a wire brush. Same thing with GoFundMe, same thing with Facebook, same thing with Twitter, because guess what? Kyle Rittenhouse, despite all of your efforts, jury intimidation, 3 on the record, by the way, where people had to be apprehended by the authorities, despite changing speech policy, despite trying to brainwash and bombard Americans to believe, to beat them, to punish them into subservience, to be fearful, to protect themselves, guess what? We still live, at least today, in the United States of America, and Kyle Rittenhouse was not guilty.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
Living in America. Across the nation. Living in America. Okay.
All right. Hey, that's all right.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Shut down. All right.
Living in America. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Woo!
Thank you, guys.
I got one left, though. I got one.
Oh, you got one pop-up.
There we go, baby. Oh, yeah.
Hey, really quickly, before we do our wrap-up, thank you, guys. You guys are dismissed.
Oh, my goodness.
You can take off your stupid hats.
You've got to admire the courage of the jury, too. And they thoughtfully considered it. 4 days asking to be filled with everything they need to make a decision.
This is the best we could ask for.
Right now, I'd like to admire a towel. Can someone? Yeah, I just had Lady Liberty's balls in my face. They were about to be electrocuted by my iPad.
Lady Liberty free-balling.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first ever female Lady Liberty, I guess. I don't know how that works.
You say thoughtful consideration. I say wasting my time and scaring the hell out of me for a few days.
I think it was worth it. It was grueling, but it was worth it for him to.
It
No, it was.
It's cover.
They thoughtfully went through all of the facts. They even went through the bullshit HD footage that brought in later. They went over that, and then they still
the other side would have come at him and said, "If you came back quickly,
exactly." They didn't think about it long enough. They're still going to do it. They're still going to do it.
They weren't thinking about me, and they weren't thinking about Kyle Rittenhouse.
That being said, I don't really think that it requires that much thought.
No, it doesn't.
You know what? It should have stopped. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. This should never even have made it to trial, in my personal opinion.
Can I pause? I want to hear everyone's thoughts, but I want to see if CNN. I want to see if they start.
What do they have?
I want to see if they start melting like House of Wax.
Ashes. One of them in court. The other one they were able to take back and watch on a laptop.
Take that white pill.
Review it multiple times
here they
if
go.
necessary, and they were very
Bring a
confident
towel in,
in this
guys.
verdict as they delivered that not guilty verdict on all 5 counts that Kyle Rittenhouse was facing.
Also known as
saw
justice.
him tear up in court. We saw him what appeared to be a
You didn't see him tear up.
Way as
There you go. Collapse. Okay, fair.
And then was
I'll give you
visibly
credit where.
shaking as the judge confirmed
this?
he
I don't
was
even-
now
Guys, I want line items on the budget
today.
today.
When this crime that
We
he was
reused
alleged
that.
to have committed
From last
took
Saturday night.
place. He was just 17 years old at the time when he went to Kenosha, Wisconsin
To
with
protect
that
people.
AR-15 style weapon and ultimately shot and killed 2 men and wounded a
In
third.
defense.
She's
He
adding-
did
In defense.
not
Hold on. She forgot
all
legally
charges.
shot.
Yes.
His defense
She's
was
adding
it
no
was
value
in
here. This
No.
is just
No, she's adding no
defense, and the
value.
jury
I mean, she's not bad to look at.
Agreed with that, Sarah. Let me come back to you because we do know
No?
that
Would we not
this
say so?
there's some
Soulless.
value there.
was-
I guess soulless.
Have you not
That's
seen some of the
baseline, I
gremlins they
guess.
have on CNN? I'm just saying, if given the
by
choice.
people in Kenosha,
No.
Oh, speaking of
Wisconsin.
gremlins.
Remember, this all
Who are they going to?
happened
Who is this?
in February.
I don't know. It looks like she
excuse
came
me,
back from a cruise with those shitty little beads in her
August, I
hair.
believe, Of 2020, it was in the summer of 2020.
By the way,
following,
black people,
the Black Lives Matter.
the people you want to talk to about white
protests,
people getting
after
killed
the
by
death
white
of George
people.
Floyd,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Don't
And so
understand
there
that
was
part.
so
Amazing.
much
I don't know. I don't
emotion,
think
right,
so
when
little
all
of
this
black
happened.
people that I think that they want to venerate child rapists.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
I don't know. Why do we assume that about? Can anyone actually answer? Maybe you guys can comment below. Why does the left assume? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I need to
Tell him off.
No, don't use that word. Why do they assume quarterback? Why do you think they assume that
Only
black
ball
people
sweat.
love child rapists so much? That never computed.
I
to
don't
me.
know. Doesn't make any sense, really.
It seems like they're
I
assuming.
think they just assume that they'll side with anybody that's a criminal, which is incorrect.
Yeah, that is incorrect. Because even if you have black people who side with, like Black Lives Matter, they do side with
Right.
criminals. Even they're like, we kind of draw the line at least the first child rape.
That's a bridge too far.
Maybe the second child rape. Like maybe they'll give you one grace child rape.
And then after that, yeah.
Then after that, like,
down.
that's no more.
I don't.
Not-
think
not
that's
cool.
If you're
how
not
it
in the
works.
express
Not cool with that.
child rape aisle, you go to self checkout,
Yeah.
and then they just hit a button and it's an anvil that falls on you.
Acme.
My point is, maybe a piano. Gerald, I want to hear what your point was that you were making there, because CNN is adding no value
Nothing.
right now. Because you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? I guarantee you I know why right now they're being careful. She just said AR-15 style weapon.
Yeah.
By the way, that's incorrect. It was an AR-15.
Guess what's coming? The
Oh, yeah, can we move
lawsuit
this button?
train.
Yes,
is
exactly.
coming through.
They heard Nick Sandman reach out.
Yes.
They were sitting there.
just
She
heard
was
the-
in her head. She's about to
Yeah.
go. He was carrying, and she heard Mr. Sandman. Bum bum
Yeah.
bum bum bum.
They heard
Bring me
the
a
faint,
dream.
the faint beat of a ho.
And that was actually just Stelter in the green room.
Yeah.
Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
Shut up, Brian. We can
Sue
hear
the
you.
pants off of all of these mainstream
Yes.
media hacks.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, I honestly look. I've been stressed about this. I think we all have. Like there
Yes.
was
This has been a heavy couple of weeks.
There was
I'm not
this-
going to lie. Our job is to absorb this. We feel
Yeah.
the pain that you do, but to make it so that you guys can process it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie to you. It's pretty hard for us the last couple of weeks.
It's
Now, this
very
was not an academic thing for us. Everybody in this team felt for this
Yeah.
kid.
well,
I
wife-
believe that was reflected.
Yes.
My wife and I had a conversation last night. And I'm like, if they find him guilty, like we've got to get on a plane. I mean, we got to go,
Yeah.
and we've got to. And honestly, it's this like that puts you in danger. And
Yeah.
you go in protesters and riots. And I've got a kid right now, and a wife and a kid on the way. And it's like, it's just at what.
But it's the
point-
right thing to do.
But at what point do you stand up for your rights? And I was really worried that something would happen and the jury would be intimidated, or that they would just be bullied into making the wrong decision. And you don't often get times to stand up and make corrections when things like this happen. Usually
Right.
it's too late by the time you're like, okay, now it's worth the risk. Well, it's like, well, now you can't make any changes, right?
Right.
It's already you can't unring the bell.
Right.
And I felt like this was one of those moments. I really do feel like this was just a public trial. This wasn't a legal system process, because if you're the prosecutor in this case, you look at the footage there's no case to make, especially on the other people that attacked him with the skateboard, jump kick, and a gun. There's no case to make there, period. There's really no case to make with the first guy, but you charge them all, and you put us all through this.
Yeah.
For what?
Hey, also, look, if we have a legal system that's worth a damn, if he's not guilty, guess what? They're guilty.
Yeah.
If it's a justified shoot, it's justified because they committed a crime.
Yeah.
A gross crime, a violent crime against Kyle Rittenhouse's person. Do you understand that, correct?
Yep.
By the way, keep in mind, this asshole here, he, suing the city for $10 million, failed to mention that he had a gun. In some cases, when questioned by authorities, said he lost his gun.
Somebody said not rejected permit, but it was revoked.
Denied.
It was revoked, taken away.
Somebody said revoked.
That's even
not just
better.
Expired. I don't know. I don't have any confirmation.
He was put on the concealed carry naughty list.
What? Did you see the video where he was drunk and he
fell off the chair?
Yes.
That was justice being served incrementally for me. I'm sorry.
It was a nice
seeing that
prelude.
It's like he tried to catch himself with his right arm and it didn't work for some reason. I'm not sure. Look, I'm sorry. He's the criminal.
You're horrible.
He was a little lame.
You're committing crimes, watching television in your car.
Well, I was committing crimes before the watching.
No. I'm not going to lie. Hey, when he's trying to kill somebody, I think that having the limb with which he is attempting to murder somebody blown off is quite comical.
Well, look, he got off pretty light compared to what could have happened.
Yeah,
So-
he's also quite a bit lighter.
Well, that's I see.
There's one way to cut weight.
Is it bicep day? Sorry,
He's always going to
Gabe.
miss that one.
Now it's
Stick to
singular.
legs. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Sorry.
It's like Chuck Norris, a bicep day. And here's the thing. You know what? People want you to feel guilty, and this is why they have the rules of, they'll say reveling in the death. We're not reveling in the death.
No, or harm.
We're reveling in the tenderizing
Defense.
of
I'm celebrating
yeah,
that
of a
celebrating
man
the
who tried to.
defense.
When people say, if Kyle Rittenhouse didn't bring a gun with him that night, no one would have died. No, that's not true, because there have been dozens of people who've died at these protests. There have been many people who've been beaten to the point that they're severely maimed. And by the way, we saw in Kenosha people knocked unconscious. If he didn't bring a gun that night, he could have been raped or killed, just to be clear.
There would have been one death.
And
It would have
certainly
been
if he
him.
didn't shoot that night, he would be dead. He would absolutely be dead. If he had his gun and didn't shoot, he would be dead.
Absolutely. We know of at least, 5, 6, 10, 12 other guys that had guns that night that had no problems. They didn't shoot anybody because guess what? Nobody attacked them.
Right.
The only
That's the
reason
difference.
that inanimate piece of metal hanging, pointing down the entire night was ever brought up and aimed at anyone was because of a threat. Period.
Yeah.
And that's your right. You get to defend yourself. I am so happy. Like, I literally almost.
It's
ran
not
a
only
red
your
light.
right, it needs to be encouraged.
Yeah.
It needs to be encouraged. And this is why you cannot accept look, it's so wrong that we teach young men that violence is immoral. It's not. It's not. Violence is amoral. You can use violence to publicly execute a 17-year-old like Grosskreutz tried to do, or you can use violence to disarm and protect yourself from being murdered. You can use violence to rape the helpless, or you can use violence to help the helpless from being raped. But guess what? If the righteous aren't willing to defensively use violence where appropriate, where moral, evil will reign. We've seen it throughout mankind. Let's just be really clear. You've got it really, really good. Do you know what the world was like? It was the most evil sumbitch who wanted to take your stuff, and if he was big enough and violent enough or had a big enough army, he did. And you prayed that he wasn't in a bad enough mood that he came out to whip you while you were chained to a fence post that day or an oar. And then it changed when some moral people used violence to create uprisings. Why is it not immoral when Black Lives Matter and Antifa talk about revolution, and it's very clear through the track record that it's violent? Why is that not considered immoral from the left? But it's considered immoral for the people who have avoided violence, for the shepherds of their flocks, to say, that's it, no more. We're protecting our flocks. Why is one okay and one isn't? And that's why I'm pushing back, saying, not only did Kyle Rittenhouse have the right to do this, I encourage you to do it. I don't want to see any more riots. I don't want to see any more David Dorns shot dead serving their community. I don't want to see any more old men as you saw in Kenosha knocked out unconscious, hitting his head on the concrete while he's trying to put a fire out at his own business. That man shouldn't have been knocked out alone. David Dorn shouldn't have died alone. These people died fucking alone. Let's put that in context. You think Kyle wouldn't have died alone that night? This is about people like Kyle, like David Dorn, like everyone who's been knocked out, hit, kicked in the face, gang beaten. By the way, also raped at these riots. Don't know where Me Too is. This is about those people not only not dying in vain, not only not risking their neck legally in vain, not dying alone, not fighting alone. Kyle Rittenhouse doesn't need to see a bunch of double-speak conservatives when he's sitting in that chair saying, oh, he shouldn't have been there, but I guess it's self-defense. No. This is one of those instances where he needed to see that cavalry coming over that hill. And what I'm saying is you need to be on that hill every day from now on. Not sometimes. All the time. Not going out hunting anyone. That's not what Kyle did. No more. Let today be the day. In other words, some people needed a catalyst. Let today be the day. Today is the day where you have your line in the sand and you say, that's it. There will not be another town burnt down. That's it. The left wants you, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, don't even know if we're still there, don't care. They want you to be afraid to protect your town, and the people who burn it and loot it feel emboldened. Someone's got to push back, and you can't push back with a yeah, but. You can't push back with a, oh, but really, I wish that Kyle wasn't there. No. That's not what you do. That's not what you do. That's not what that kid needed. Look at how hard. Do you really think you're going to fight this evil? And I mean this evil of the left. Do you really think you're going to fight this evil with that mindset? Keep this in context. The people he shot, the kind of people who were at these protests, had a rap sheet, I believe over 40 crimes. Multiple child rapes, girlfriend strangulation, knife at the throat. I think it's all but confirmed now that mysterious jump kick man is a serial violent felon.
Yeah. What a surprise.
Those were the people who were attacking him. The left and the president convicted him before he even had a trial, declared him guilty, and then they decided to threaten to riot and burn down the city. The activists, and when that wasn't intimidating enough, you actually had arms of what used to be considered, my God, media, try and intimidate the jurors. You think you're going to fight that level of evil with, well, Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't have been there, but no. You fight that evil with, fuck you, and you, and you. That's it. Not one more town burned. Not one. And no shame in saying it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look, and the message is very clear. Like you said, if you force us to defend our cities, we will.
Defend.
We don't want to have to be out there. Mayors, protect your cities. Governors, protect the cities in your state. Do your job. If you don't, you're forcing ordinary citizens with a Second Amendment right to defend themselves, and they should. I'm not saying shoot anybody. I'm just saying if they have to defend themselves, they will. Well, do your jobs.
Think, if there was 50, 100, 200 Kyle Rittenhouses out there, nothing would have happened.
No, nothing.
No. Nothing would have happened.
But
he was alone.
Yeah, the guys protesting the mission when they went in Michigan in the winter, protesting, I think it was the masks or the lockdown, one of the two at the Capitol. If you had a scene like that in Kenosha, nothing.
The scene that horrified the media where not a shot was fired, and I don't even think anyone was shoved.
I'm not even sure if they all got out of their cars. A lot of them just were standing.
A lot of them just waved the barrel out of their car. Yeah. I'm like, you see that?
Turn up the heater, hon. It's pretty cold.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see what they're saying right here. Let's see what Miss Canary Yellow's saying.
Back to you right now.
Okay, we want to make sure everybody stays safe, obviously.
Oh, I don't know if you should be accusing anyone of looking like they're a hole dweller.
Listen, nobody should be that.
The feelings of people who were impacted to some degree by this whole situation.
Look at this. It takes no time for them to go, the victims who were impacted.
Yeah.
These are the people who are still threatening to burn shit down.
Kyle was the victim.
Not only, but these people are still making threats. They're still making threats. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm seeing some white assholes there too, just to be clear. Probably more. So when I say these assholes, don't try and twist it. What I'm saying is these people outside of the courthouse, the ones who were body slamming and the ones who were attempting to dox the jury and the ones saying that they should have killed Kyle Rittenhouse and the ones now saying crawl into the hole where you came from, you lose the victim card here. And this is a rare instance. of justice being, I wouldn't even say justice being served. At this point, I think a mistrial with prejudice would have been the most appropriate.
Right.
More so than not guilty, because I think it needs to set a precedent.
Yeah.
Where the judge can go to everyone in the media, you're the reason Kyle's going free, and you're the reason that this can never be tried again. Because there's no future juror who you haven't tainted behaving like children.
Yeah.
That would have been at this point.
Yeah.
I understand that early on it was always best for the verdict to come back not guilty. At this point, I think you need to send a message that the media has to stop being what they've been throughout the entirety of their existence.
I wonder if the judge can comment any further on it. I don't know that he can, so somebody with a better legal mind than mine can check into this. But I would love for him to come out and say, okay, verdict came back not guilty. Good, because I was about to declare a mistrial with prejudice on this, and here's why.
Right.
Yeah,
right. So
list them out so everybody
both
sees it.
Things.
Right.
Right. Because you're right. I think the best outcome was, hey, American citizens, when the next time, because when we know there's going to be a next time, there's going to be something trumped up by the media to say that a black kid was shot by an officer. Oh, well, he had a gun. Oh, he had it drawn on the cop, but the cop shouldn't have fired. There's going to be something like that happens again. So the next time your cities burn, you can go defend yourself. That's what the court just said.
Yeah.
You can go and defend yourself and not have to fear that, honey, we got to pack up the kids and leave town because they're going to burn the house and I can't do anything about it. They're going to try to break in and steal stuff and I can't do anything about it. They're going to try to rape you and I can't do anything about it. We got to get out of here. Right. No, sorry. We're staying. We're not instigating, and we're defending.
Yep.
Period. That's what we just heard today. Thank God.
Absolutely. For crying out loud. Everyone knows it. That's why Home Alone's such a popular film.
Well, it's Christmas time too.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas miracle, Stephen.
It absolutely is.
I'm not sure that glass Christmas ornaments is a solid defense, though.
I'm not sure that it is.
Have you tried it?
does a little.
I'm also not sure that super glue and feathers is a useful defense.
It just pisses the guy
It
off.
pisses them off. I'm not going to. I'm not kill him. I'm not kill him. Which, by the way, they would have been maimed, and they would have had to, if they sued Macaulay Culkin, Kevin McAllister, they would have had to wheel Harry and Marv out. Just, Judge, hey, what you just think I'm going to let your client, after he tried to invade a home here, just walk out of here? Your Honor, my client can't walk. I'm a human being. My gold tooth.
Was it the paint can in the face or the nail through the foot that did it for you? I think it was the nail for me and the pine tar on the stairs. But
maybe it was the kerosene on his head with a blowtorch.
that worked too. Yeah.
For crying out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know that it
The
gets any
molten
worse.
hot doorknob, that one's pretty bad.
All of a sudden, being shot in the balls with a BB gun doesn't hurt so much.
No, that's not
so bad compared, I
Those
guess.
That being said, I would take all of them before the tarantula on the face.
That's absolutely true. You would.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
You take being branded M for McAllister on your palm.
Yeah, I would just say it's M for like maximum manliness. I'd be like, yeah, it's just,
There's not two M's. There's one.
yeah.
So,
I just be like
don't
this
know.
M for Maximus. So it's Roman for awesome.
Look at it the other way. It's W for wuss.
Well,
Oh, that's true.
I guess if I'm taking an underhanded grip.
Oh,
But
This is a
hey,
good
by the
day,
way,
though. This is a very good day. I was very
is.
touched by that, guys. This is a big thing.
this is a big thing. Hit the like button, by the way, if you're watching
Yes.
right now, and comment below. Comment below on YouTube. There you go.
Violent.
Smash That is
That's
violent.
violent.
No, it's
Everyone knows what I'm saying. Think about it. Every
course,
single
of course.
superhero film, every single storybook that a little boy likes, it's about a valiant battle.
yeah.
And you know what? In
Between
this
good and
modern,
evil, yeah.
Between good and evil.
Well, it's always what we talk about: bridled power.
Yeah.
You have to have the power to bridle it, of course, right? And then you have to bridle the power. And that's what people are doing when they have a weapon and they're saying, look, I have this ability. I'm not here to do that, though. I'm here to help people, and I'm here to make sure that you guys don't go crazy and burn this business down. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And if things get crazy, I'll point my gun at you like Kyle did and not fire as you know, Rosenbaum was
Well, you
chasing
don't point
him.
the gun at them. The key is to shoot through the door.
Well, yeah. No, but he pointed it at him as he was running away when he threw the bag. Just before he threw the bag, he turned around to point it at him like, hey, stop, stop, stop.
Yeah.
That was your sign right there, buddy. Like, this is serious. You're starting to cross a line that I can't tell what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other day, though. Even the most liberal of mothers in this country, if watching their son being set upon by a handful of these hooligans, would have screamed out, use your gun, honey. Use your
100%.
gun.
Yep.
They all would have. We'll sort it out later. But in this nanosecond in time, use your gun.
Yeah.
That's the decision to make. And
And
they would have to agree to that.
And in some cases, you only had a nanosecond. Yeah, guys, by the way, comment below. Hit that comment button there, Quarter Black Carrot. Let me ask you, talking about bridled power, and this is something who do you respect more? The guy who wails with all of his might his skateboard, which we just saw, of course, can be used as a lethal weapon. There was another case, I think, even more recently. And we brought up an older case in New York with a security guard. But you can find many examples of people being brained with skateboards, craniumed, to use the terms of the people chasing Kyle Rittenhouse. Cranium him. How scared would you be? Anyways, I'm getting off we'll go back to cranium him and we'll dissect that. We'll unpack it. So, who do you respect more? The guy swinging as hard as he can with his skateboard to hit people in the head and doesn't kill them, or the kid who's an absolute sharpshooter who could have mowed down everybody there and only took out the people who were violently attempting to murder him? In other words, who do you want in your society? The guy who's swinging skateboards? The guy who's jump kicking when you're not looking and then running away? The guy who puts his hands up and says, no, don't shoot, and then tries to shoot you? Or the kid who lets you know exactly where he stands, who runs away as far as he can until he's barricaded and turns around and takes care of business? He could have killed everybody there, only shot the people who were actively trying to kill him. What do you want? And what do you want in your life? Women, this is important for you too, in what you want in a man. It's the same thing with men and women, but it's a difference. We're not talking about a physical power in the same way. Do you want a man who is so fearful and out of control that swinging a skateboard? Or do you want a man who's able to take care of business whenever he wants and chooses to keep it holstered? That's what we saw. Keep that in mind. Look, most of us here shoot a lot, more than the average bear. I don't think any of us could have accomplished what he did. It is pretty amazing.
Miraculous.
And let's just take a moment to recognize the marksmanship.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Can we? Yes.
Absolutely. And the restraint that he showed. Gosh.
Yes.
I mean, this is like when they pop up a target and it's a woman instead of...
Exactly. That's what I'm going to say.
I was like, I would have shot the woman on accident.
It's like one target pops out, it's a woman holding a baby, the next one pops out, and it's Rosenbaum making out with a baby. You're like,
that's the one. The number of assailants that were running up on him mid-shooting,
armed,
and that he looked at, assessed, and then did not shoot.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
It's I've talked about this with the dogs. It's like I know Pops Cratter was upset at that guy on the steps of the courthouse whose service dog was like tucking tail.
Oh, I know.
I was like, that dog's useless.
Why would you keep an animal like that? Just to feed it?
What's the point?
Oh, come on.
It's giving nothing back. It's returning nothing to its owner.
As opposed to here, where we've had Hopper and Joe Louis. Token on remembers Hopper almost ate Wade. He almost killed him when we were taping
in self-defense.
In defense of me.
Right.
In defense of me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everyone here knows Joe Louis could be the studio. You don't even know if he's here or not. And Hopper was the same way, super friendly. But we were doing a sketch with the Bernie. Was it the Bernie Sanders?
What was it?
It was
the
Bernie
Screaming Infidelity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screaming Instability. That's right. The dashboard confessional video. Maybe someone can bring that up and we can show you the moment of the clip where Bernie Sanders is escaping an insane asylum in this sketch. Sounds weird that I make a living this way come out of my mouth. And we were taping it, and I told Wade, like, it's got to look real because we're going to put it in slow-mo. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got to
really do it.
Go with the gusto, as the old Schlitz campaign. And he's pushing him against the wall. And I couldn't tell because we had the music going because we have to lip sync, right? We're doing a music video and there's smoke machine. And I remember there was smoke going. And so I kind of heard, but I'm getting, roughed up as Bernie, so I have the bald cap and the wig, and I can't really hear. There's smoke. It's disorienting. The music is playing, and I kind of hear, am I here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I see teeth and the face come through the smoke. And Wade's like, ah! I mean, it was the most terrifying thing. I'd never seen it from him.
I found the moment.
Oh, did you find them? Okay, let's see this moment here. And the reason I say this is because that's bridled, because after that, I said, Hopper, you're good. Wade gave him a treat. Audio Wade.
Yeah.
God bless him. We miss him.
Wasn't his arm.
And it wasn't his bicep.
No.
But at any given moment, you realize that you live at the mercy.
Yeah.
We might have on video that actually happening. I have the moment from the music video.
Let's just show the moment from the music
Yeah,
video and
yeah.
leave it to the theater of the imagination. Yeah, it was that moment there. It was that scene up in that hallway out
in the
here,
hallway
against the wall. And boy,
I love it.
it was a different side of Hopper.
Yeah.
And
so even keel all the
dog
time.
doesn't
but
know you're
just
playing
ready to
house.
go.
That's reality to him. He doesn't know.
Anytime
On this
Steven and I would
hopper.
act like we're like, hey, like almost shove, he would like get in the middle of us.
He didn't like it.
He's like, nope, you're not doing that, boys.
Nope. And
He's a good boy.
that's the beauty of bridal power. It's better to have, like you're saying, it's better to have a dog who you completely trust with your children. And by the way, when I say this, just so you know, you should never have a large dog unsupervised with children, regardless. Okay, I'm just being because the tail has narded me from Joe Louis, so it can still do damage. So
Yes,
not
it
because of aggressivity. I just don't want people to get in the comment section. Yes, I understand that, but a dog that I completely trust with my babies, with all of my friends here in the office, no problem, and a dog that I have no doubt, if it came to it. I don't think anyone here doubts for a second what Joe Louis. That's what the breed does.
Joe Louis wins.
Yeah,
He'd
At
wreck
500
you,
pounds per square inch, I might add.
Yeah, the PSI of a Doggo Argentino is 500 PSI. We fell into it accidentally. The most powerful breed that exists outside of a Kangal.
Built to kill cougars, right?
Cougars and boar, and we just
You ain't
happened
no
to
cougar,
rescue
man.
a dog that was, and then we fell in love with the breed because they're so people-oriented. And
Yeah.
then we were reading, like, wait, pit bulls and Rottweilers and German Shepherds, their bites is like 300 PSI, per square inch.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, what's a doggo? 500? Fuck me!
Man,
I'm never getting it off if he gets on there.
No, and then you read that a lion isn't much more.
Yeah, great.
And then you think of when I've seen other dogs get too rough in playing, and I've watched Joe Louis correct them, where they've got, and he's, and pin them, you know what I'm talking about? Pin them. And I've heard dogs yelp.
Okay.
And I come up, there's not a mark.
No.
Not a mark. Because it's the breed standard. He grabs the neck, pins, and keeps them there until they calm down.
Yeah.
If it's a dog that's being aggressive, or we had a dog lunge out at him, and I was like, he's going to kill this thing. Nothing. There wasn't even a scratch. When you understand that he could snap a broomstick.
It's dog side control, like jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
It really is.
And all of this comes back to the point is Kyle Rittenhouse had the ability. We need to take into account the damage that was not done.
Yeah.
The damage that was not
So
done.
true.
The damage that was not done after that to the city slowed down once they started sending in the National
Yeah, it
Guard.
did.
Yeah.
At that point, I think, what did they send in, 50 back then?
I don't
I
remember.
remember there was a standoff with the mayor and the president
Yeah.
and something, and then all of a sudden
Politics.
it stopped. But the damage that was not done by Kyle Rittenhouse, no one's been taking this into. I haven't heard anyone else talking about it.
Yeah. I've never seen an active shooter only shoot people who are
Right.
attacking him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
that's,
interesting.
I've just
the child
name another
showed
one.
so much more restraint than all the adult losers.
yeah, and that's what's horrible about it. Is like he was out there, like you said, alone, 17-year-old kid. There should have
Yeah.
been 50 other ones
kidding.
out there with him.
I mean, there were some
protecting
other
these
people
places.
out there, but then he was away from the pack.
Where's the police?
I know.
being held back.
But didn't child rapists say, when I get you alone, if
When
I find you
if
alone?
I find you alone,
kill
That's
you.
what they
I
want to
will
do. That's
kill
the
you.
jackal. Separate them from the pack.
And he also said, I'm not afraid to go back to jail. How do you deal with that? It's very much like a terrorist in the sense that when people didn't really understand the methods of interrogation that people would say is torture, and I've been waterboarded, and I don't believe that it's torture because I've been waterboarded, but I certainly don't think we should actually torture people or cause any kind of damage, just to be clear. But, for example, when people want to die, right? Islamic terrorists, they want to die because that's their only guaranteed ticket to heaven. That's what they believe. Don't want to get into theology and some Muslims. I'm just saying that's what they believe. Can we all agree that's what they believe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you deal with that? How do you interrogate that person? It's different. That's why having dogs bark at them while they're stripped down to their skivvies was humiliation, because culturally they saw that as far more shame is way more of a deterrent than death. I'm not even justifying it. I'm just letting you know the psychology of it. So let me ask you this. When you say, well, you shouldn't be there, okay? He didn't need to shoot him, okay? You're dealing with someone who spent 15 years, which, by the way, a light sentence, for anally raping a 9-year-old, at least one. We don't know what he did with the entire 5, if he raped all 5, or if he only anally raped one 9-year-old boy and just forced the other one to perform oral sex. We don't know, but we know at least one count of anal rape of a 9-year-old boy. Okay, 5 kids, ages 9 to 11. How do you deal with a man, Rosenbaum, who's done 15 years on a plea deal, who's out, telling you he's going to kill you, and he doesn't care if he goes back to jail? Your move. What's your negotiating leverage? What language does this piece of shit speak? All he's done his whole life is harm people. That's all he's ever done. A man who would seek out single women so he could rape their children. How are we at a point where 100% of society isn't meeting someone like that with anything other than revulsion? Regardless of whether you think it was a justified shoot, which it is, it's just amazing to me that you had people out in the courthouse steps saying selfless heroes. You mean the guy who sought out single women who were vulnerable so he could anally rape their 9-year-old boys? That guy's a selfless hero? And the kid who cleaned up graffiti and provided medical care? Who shot the child rapist? Is not a Oh, that's right. He's not a qualified EMT. Go fuck yourself. How about that? You were about to say something, Gerald.
Yeah, he's a 17-year-old with a gun, right? And I heard somebody say this, so this is not original, but if it weren't for 17-year-olds with guns, we'd all still be British.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So this
Or
is what,
at that point, you'd probably be an old maid.
I was about to say it applies to that too. We'd be doing the Nazi thing. It'd be man in High Castle right now.
No, at 17 would be getting up there back then. They'd be like, look we really want you to... We really want you to fight against the British, but
you're old.
You're up there. Those knees aren't what they used to. There's nothing what I can do. Yeah. Hey, you there, 13-year-old.
But so we made a grand bargain with the government. We made a bargain with our cities and the states that we lived in and said, look, we will focus on other things if you will take care of these basic things. And one of the basic things is making sure that there's law and order and protecting us when things go south.
Yeah.
And they broke that bargain last summer, and the media went with it. And politicians said, this is what we should expect. People in the streets doing these things.
Encouraged it even.
People were prosecuted for defending themselves, too, in cars that were being ransacked, and people were trying to break in, and they drove away, and they happened to hit somebody and wing them on the way out. They broke the agreement, and now we're left scrambling going, okay, well, if we don't want our towns to burn and our businesses to burn and our kids to die.
You know, there's actually a legal term for that. If someone is, and I'm speaking about, of course, when someone is throwing a brick at your car, reaching into your car, right, or swarming your car, and you just sort of wing them on the way out, you know what the legal term for that is? A miss.
Ah.
You were about to say something there.
I think when these jurors find out who these dirtbags were, they're going to feel a lot better about
it. Be like, jeez,
they're going to go, nailed it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're going to say, do you have any regrets? No!
I mean, this guy with malice aforethought would groom these kids.
Disgusting.
From take the man out of it. It had to be single women, right? So there's no masculine threat to him.
Yeah.
And then go after the children. I mean, that is as vile.
Not to mention Jump Kick Man, if it actually is confirmed, horrible record. Not to
mention skateboard guy, of course, same thing.
Skateboard guy. Grosskreutz, who you can
should
see
be in jail. I really want him.
He should be in jail.
Serve some time for the charges.
Just wait.
I don't know what they could get him on in that specific situation because we had him on video being told, "I'm going to get the police." So it's like you thinking this guy's an active shooter. He hasn't shot anybody.
And it's not like he can do a civil suit because whoever's suing will be like, "Well, I guess it's all well and good, but I don't really need a box spring and junior suite."
Listen, you sue him. And you take the ear thing from him. So it's just this loopy thing.
So you take his pride.
Yes.
You know what? Let's not let Biden get away with anything here.
No.
He can't be sued, but that is wrong.
Hold on, but guess what?
Wrong.
Yeah, fuck that former vice president.
Guess what?
Sorry.
I don't know this. We need to look this up. I was just thinking through this. Yes, you cannot sue the president. I get that.
Right.
What about his PAC that ran the ad? Or what about his campaign?
Oh, there are ways
that
to come
ran
at
the
it,
ad?
I'm sure.
I've got to be.
Because they're the ones it happened in his lead up to the election.
Yeah.
So you're not suing Joe Biden, the person. You're
or what you just do is
Maybe,
you get him to waive that immunity.
May not.
You just slide it in front of him, but you tell him it's like a $4 billion bill that he doesn't know what's in.
Yeah.
And he signs it, and then you can sue him.
This is the Build Back Mo Better plan.
Yeah.
Sandman got $80 million for standing.
Well, actually, we don't know the number. I've heard as high as 250. I've heard as low as.
Well, that was the first round, though. He's going after the other.
He's still in.
Yeah, he's still
in court.
He's like
Whoever
doing rounds of investors.
Are for Sandman right now, call Kyle Rittenhouse.
We might have him on the show, I believe.
Really?
From what I understand, we might have the Nick Sandman on the.
Mr.
Sandman.
And Kyle, you're welcome to join us too.
Yes, please.
Wendy, the mom, come on board with the son. We'd be happy to have you.
And I look, if you guys have a long deserved break, I'm sure coming.
Of course.
So I want to be clear because everyone is. This is one thing too that's also wrong with our industry is, and not. I'm not saying this because we are offering you the invitation. That is all.
Yeah.
Because I know that this guy is going. This
Well,
is
just
going to
because I
have
wanna
everyone
shake your
banging
hand,
down the
man.
door
Sure.
because they're looking for a scoop.
Yep.
That's right.
not what we do here. Just so you know, you have a welcome home here. You have support here. We were there the night it happened.
Yes.
And supported you.
That's right.
And I don't say that to even remotely imply that you owe us anything. I just want you to know that there are some people out there who mean it when they support you, and you're welcome here.
That's right.
If you want to tell your story and you don't owe anyone anything, if you want to go off into the sunset, if you want to go sand a boat like Andy Dufresne, Do it. Do whatever you want.
Do me a favor, sue the pants off of CNN and other people
Sue
first.
the crap out
Or
of them.
from wherever you go.
So many targets. Like a mosquito in a nudist colony. Where do you start?
Yeah.
I mean, there are so
Start
many targets.
picking
for
them
those
off.
Or
lawsuits.
Rosenbaum at a Gymboree.
Good day.
That's
I like
true.
that.
This is my happy place.
I guarantee you,
Ow!
he's not in his happy place right now.
No.
So
I don't know.
I'm pretty certain.
Hey, it's not for me to pass judgment.
It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look,
be a pineapple
anyone can be
involved.
saved in their final moments. I don't have the verse in front of me, but I believe raping children is frowned upon in the good book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of.
I don't think I'm taking a risk.
He should have considered that prior.
Yes, because now it is his prior, or it was.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it? A prior? There's a prior arrest record, but they're dead. Are they still priors? Because you are a prior.
Prior human.
Yeah.
True.
But like
Not
you
exactly
said,
sure.
he threw the insane asylum bag at Kyle. I mean, so you're a jury. You go, okay, well, wow, child rape. That's awful. You mean he was just discharged from a mental hospital that night?
Yeah.
He threw
Oh,
his.
wait a minute. The timestamp is 15 minutes prior to joining a riot?
Hey, look, the bag says party favors.
Well, in his defense, the riot was going by when he got let out, and he's like, "Well, okay.
I guess I might as well
guess
do
I'm-
some arson.
The guy didn't even go home.
They seem like my kind of people."
Amazing.
So
Just walked. He was like walking out like Brooks in Shawshank, and he didn't know what he was going to do with his life. So he just said,
Like,
"I don't know,
all right.
maybe I can find some more kids to rape." The second he walked out,
yeah.
Got to be
second he got
somebody
out.
needs some killing.
yeah,
He's like, "I'm not afraid to go back to prison." Kyle's like, "That's not where I'm going to send
No,
you.
that's
You don't
not.
Stop."
That's not what this ticket says. Something about a layover in Chicago. I like to fly direct.
Well, Chicago's kind of hell.
I was so happy, so happy.
That's what happens. You die and you show up like,
verdict.
wow, the CN Tower. Oh shit!
South Side?
You show up and you're stuck in O'Hare for life.
Yeah. Just hear the Family
This is
Matters
hell.
theme.
Yeah.
Hey, quiet. Days go by.
No!
Oh no!
No.
Oh, I knew I'd go to hell.
Under construction. No.
Shouldn't have raped that fourth kid. Well, you die, you learn.
Yeah.
And I mean this. We need to be able to celebrate good winning over evil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? If it's okay for people to upload video to talk about how they remember where they were when Osama bin Laden was killed. It's okay for someone to say, "Oh, thank God the rapist didn't rape again or kill another minor." That's like, I just don't. We do have half the country who live in an alternative where they would prefer.
Yeah.
They would prefer the alternative outcome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
And Kyle is now old enough to enjoy an adult beverage, I think, tonight.
I don't know. He's not
He's
21. He's
18.
18.
Oh, he can go to Canada.
He can go to
mom-
Canada.
What's
His mom or dad can
Wisconsin's
buy
a little
him
different,
one.
isn't it?
Yeah, watch. That's what they nail him on. Like Al
I think they
Capone,
throw a
tax
beer in their mouth
evasion.
in there too.
It's pretty beer-centric there.
Yeah.
You drank a Schlitz, so I give you 15 to life. Ah, crap.
Oh, bummer.
I couldn't leave well enough alone. What are they talking about right now?
This
state-
is the Huber family, I guess.
Oh, so people who should shut up?
So there was no justice. Justice was served. Sorry.
What did this lady say? Hey, could you give me the early 90s Oprah haircut? You know, the one where she used to still kind of do paternity tests and have midgets talking about kids who aren't midgets like them? That's the haircut I want.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't always a serious journalist?
No. I
She is
suppose
ever?
today. I mean, she's as serious of a journalist as MSNBC or NBC.
Anthony Huber's family were there. His aunt, for example, was in court watching all
the
of
action.
the machinations of this court
All the
and waiting for the
machinations.
jury's decision.
You ain't
But
gonna have
hear
another
there
birthday.
from a family who felt that their
Christmas
son
came
was
early.
trying to do something valiant, and they feel like justice was not served here. You
Well,
will,
so
of
hold
course,
on.
Hear the
I
complete
will-
Do something
opposite from
valiant.
Well, hold on.
I know your point
his
here.
family
You know my
and his
point. Huber had no
attorneys
idea.
feel that Kyle Rittenhouse had-
I think he had a,
I don't know that
I think
he
he,
had an
I think he had
idea.
an inkling.
But I'm not.
He had
saying-
a hunch.
I'm not saying he was a good guy. I don't know that Jump Kick Man or Huber had any idea what was going on other than get him. He's a mass shooter, right? Okay, fine. No one else has any.
Well, I don't know, but they were hearing cranium him.
Well, that's true.
So if I'm actually about to do something
method.
that I think is right, but the person who I think I'm doing it for yells cranium him, I go, hold up.
Wait.
What?
Decision making.
Maybe I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm not supporting them. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying if there is any grayer areas in this, they're the only two that could apply for that. That's it. Period. Everybody else, and even then, Kyle would still be justified defending himself from somebody,
of course.
Somebody who's misguided trying to kill you is still trying to kill you.
Still trying to kill
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes. So that is justice, and I'm sorry if that's where that family is right now. That's got to be really a hard thing to deal with. But that is justice, and that is the country you want to live in, not the one that lynches a kid because he's going out there in doing something that he is legally allowed to do.
And by the way, am I mistaken, or was Huber the one who held the knife to his brother's throat, or was he the one who strangled his
Stabbed him in the ear.
Stabbed his brother in the ear?
Who hasn't
Great
stabbed
family.
their
Tried
brother
to-
in the
And the
ear?
family's like, there's no justice for him. Did you ever think that you had a Damien? Like, did it ever just... you know what I mean? Did you ever think that... Have you ever
Maybe.
seen The Good Son? And you're like, maybe we don't have the Elijah. Maybe we have a Macaulay. At what point, you're like, I don't know. You know what? I started to think my son had some tendencies when he put the cat in the microwave. Then when he stuck that Bic through his brother's skull, I thought, we have a problem here.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do something about this.
Timeout. He needs to go to timeout.
Timeout. He needs to go to timeout.
1, 2. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah,
fine,
yeah. Don't make me get to 3, and he stabbed another one. How do you keep getting pens and ears?
How many times did you stab your brother, Stephen? Be honest.
Choked his brother and stabbed him in the ear.
And
threatened to burn down the house and kill his mother, grandmother, and siblings. Karate kicked his sister during an argument. Well, that doesn't really.
Karate kick.
I don't really care if
everybody
it's karate kick. Like, I don't need to know the name of the technique.
I karate kick the crap out of
Reverse spinning back fisted his. You know what?
The Eureka fist.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did the crane kick.
He threw.
But that was his
It works
grandmother,
every
though.
time.
So that's a class. That's a fellow.
Yeah, so
know,
the
you're
family,
standing
this is the
across the
problem.
way.
Like, look, and people will say this. They go, are you saying, because people had bad shakes and they had criminal records, they deserve that? No, I'm not saying that. But let's be honest. If you're going to say he had no business being there, I think it matters that consistently child rape, stabbing brother in ear, strangling girlfriend, DWIs, people who only exist to commit harm to others in society, that's more relevant than the fact that the kid was 20 minutes from home, just to be clear. The kid had no prior record, just to be clear.
He did. He had a record of doing good.
Doing good, yeah.
Helping the community, training to be a firefighter, trained in EMS
Lifeguard.
services.
Yeah, they tried to bring up that he punched a girl in high school who was in a fight with his sister. And it's like, all right, really? That's what you got?
What's the context on that? That could be a really great thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good point.
I don't know. I mean, I've never had
I do know. I think that's good. I mean, if your sister's getting beat up,
Well, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
What's
the
the
exact context. All I know is I've never had any sisters, and I've always wondered, like, what would I do if someone hit my sister? If a girl hit my sister?
knock the crap out of him.
You get in the way, you break it up.
Sorry, that's what I do.
Same thing for your buddy.
That's just me, I guess.
He goes full nuke, and I'm like, all right, break it up.
He leaves no doubt.
Yeah,
He wants to make sure that all other women who might hit his sister are afraid.
But if you get in the middle of that, Gerald, women are not bridled power. It is insane, and you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, you're getting a cornea
It's purse to
scratch.
the wall.
You're getting a cornea scratch, minimum.
I'm not worried about it. Have you seen
Because you're 6'8", so you're above it all.
You just
I'm
kind of
just
put your
saying.
hand and stop them there. Like,
They'd have to jump to give me the scratch. I'm like, I'm fine.
So Huber's parents are saying no justice for their... Again, this is the issue, is when they just act as though they have no idea.
Well, that's why they're not on the jury, because they wouldn't be seeking justice. They're seeking retribution.
right, yeah.
Justice is, sorry, your son tried to kill another kid, and that kid defended himself.
What-
That's justice.
And he grabbed the gun barrel and placed it over his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shoot me here.
Yeah. Hope I framed it in for you.
No.
I don't, what does his brother think? What does Huber's brother think? The guy who he stabbed in the ear. Have we heard from him?
No. Well,
That'd be a great interview.
Like, hey, what do you think about your brother?
that's different.
Huh?
Yeah.
Come again?
Lend me an ear. What do you think?
Ouch.
No, seriously. Seriously, he stabbed his brother in the ear.
Didn't you stab your brother in the head?
No.
I thought somebody had a nail stuck in their head, and was it a nail or what was it? And when in the
Oh, a dart? No, that was my
it-
dad.
Oh,
No,
dart.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
What's the story? You said I butchered the story.
You did. It was buried in my thigh to the hilt,
Oh.
but it was in my thigh. Yeah.
Okay. But then,
I did a Jim Carrey and went.
and then didn't you lock yourself in the bathroom to try and keep it there?
No.
So, yes, you did.
so
because
many attacks from my
said
bully
you
brother.
Yes, you did. You said because you wanted your parents to see it and him get in trouble.
Well,
You wanted the visual of the dart still in you.
it was pretty damning. But that is a different story. It's kind of hard to keep it in the quadricep for any length of time.
How many times did this happen to you, Darren?
Just once.
No, what I did do to my brother once, the worst thing I ever did was
John can confirm that if he's out there.
Right.
What?
Where you're going. I think go ahead. Go ahead.
No. My brother did stab me once with a pineapple pen.
Yeah.
But he stabbed me. It was an accident. It was in the arm.
No. We did that on purpose in school. Like we'd like, ha, and break it off.
Yeah. No, that's horrible. That's how you get tetanus.
We don't get.
Anyway.
It's not far. You only go in like that far.
I tell you one thing. If you'd have done that to me, I would have broken your expensive graph calculator, and you would have never known revenge is a dish best served cold. Did I ever tell you that? I got stabbed by a girl.
Yeah, I remember this.
In the hand with a pen deep, like that purple blood coming out. And I thought, all right, okay, all right, nothing's going to happen. And I was paranoid that I had tetanus.
Yeah. Saying hockey, you got her number.
I got a tetanus shot.
Got her number and remembered for a later day.
So do you guys remember graph calculators?
Yeah.
How expensive they were? They were like $200.
Yeah, a lot.
And I didn't use it for trigonometry. The best thing I did was spell boobs.
By the way, John already said confirmed.
Okay.
He's like,
yes.
So John was there, and I kicked my brother's ass when he accidentally stabbed me with a pen. This is a different pen stabbing story. So it was accidental, and it wasn't in my ear, but she stabbed me in the hand, and I was bleeding. And so what happened was I thought, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I took this girl's graph calculator, snap, whipped it out the window, and that was it. I didn't think about it for a while until we were in our final exam 2 months later. Hand to God.
Oh, geez.
2 months later, we're doing our final government exam. People out there who know, like who went to Centennial High School or in Quebec, you have these final government exams. A lot of weight given to these exams. And I'm writing, all you can hear is a scratching of pens on paper, and I hear, oh my God, where's my calculator? And I'm just, because I know it doesn't matter. There will be there's nothing you can do. So not only did you stab me, you were wrong once, but you also clearly have not been doing any work throughout the remainder of this school year to not even notice that your graphic calculator, a necessity when doing trigonometry, at least as far as I know it, is not there until you're in the seat at the final exam. I was like, I couldn't have planned this better.
When she needed it most.
Where's my calculator?
Justice.
You're a dangerous little kid filing grievances away. to be settled at a later
well
date.
noted.
So what you're thinking of what I did to my brother, and by the way, this is, hopefully you're okay, but comment if you're okay hanging out with us. I hope we're just hanging out with you right now.
This is the victory lap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
anyone who's had sons, no explanation is necessary.
So my brother, he was 2 years older than me, and this was, I don't know how, somehow I ended up pinning him. So I was on top of him. And he was near, I had these, remember those little organized, with my toys, but I would put my Halloween candy with white kind of stackables. I don't know.
Yeah.
They probably would sell them now at the Container Store, which I only found out about recently. I drove it by, it's a store of nothing but containers.
How much Halloween candy were you hoarding?
No, it wasn't a lot. Anyway, but
that's shelves.
I have him pinned, and my brother's head, picture this is the lands right next to the Halloween candy. And I'm like, what can I do to harm him? So I noticed the Halloween candy, it was covered in aluminum foil. And sometimes when I would wrap the aluminum foil, it's kind of scratchy on my fingers. So I just took some chocolate, crumpled up the aluminum foil, and started rubbing it on his forehead. And he's like, no! I didn't know that it was actual metal. I thought it was wrapping paper. You beat my ass for that one. I mean, I definitely got spanked for my brother went because he had the scratches. It was like those kids doing backyard wrestling with the cheese graters. I had no idea. It was just that he was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Little inglorious bastards
like Huber
for you.
Yeah, I do find a certain sense of justice in the fact that they're like, kid, you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. Not the way I see it.
Yeah.
Rethink
that's not
that.
the way this is going to go.
That's not. I know how you think this is going to go.
Yeah.
It's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go.
Guys, I have a real sense of elation here. I don't know.
Oh, so do I.
It's
And
a
relief.
wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
Relief, and it's going to be a good weekend. I just feel so good about this.
Well, I tell you what, there's
so
a
many
lot
levels, not just for him personally.
I agree 100%. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people out there trying to make it a bad weekend.
Well, they do have the National Guard, I believe, already ready to go there.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you can see,
It's mostly
there's not a lot
media.
of people there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of uprising. So
I hope it doesn't devolve into any of that. I really do. But
what do we have till sundown? A few
not
hours.
long.
I don't know. I don't know when the vampires come out, but
Not a lot of
all
support
let's
for
take
them.
let's take a couple of chats. We'll go to Mug Club here only. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Rumble, thank you guys for tuning in. It has been a busy week.
Yeah.
We're gonna be same scheduled time, thank God, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. And I don't know about Wednesday. I think we have an Ash Wednesday planned for this Wednesday.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. We definitely won't be here Thursday for Thanksgiving. So Monday morning, we're right back here, 10 a.m. Eastern. As always, I know the schedule's been screwed up because of the verdict. But YouTube, you know what? I thank you for nothing, and I think you know how this ends.